Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Comrade Sport. Today, we have an amazing guest with us. This is an year of election, and as we know, the youth are the center of elections and campaigns. Where do we stand as youth? What is our role in politics? We get to share all this with our guest today, Mr. Diongo the President. Karibu, Diongo the President. My name is Alan Jogu, and this is the Comrade Sport. Mr. President, as we know, the 2022 general elections campaigns have officially begun. What are the roles of the youth in campaigns?
The major role of youth is to ensure that they support and elect a leader who is determined to define the future of the youth. Yes.
As you said some days back in your Facebook page, and I quote, it's very deducting to see how some politicians have defined the roles of youth in politics. Kenyan youth are being used to disrupt political meetings and filling campaign rallies. Do you think are there people who amplify our voices as youths, or are we just to be taken for granted?
Jogu, let me tell you that there are people who are there. There are people who are supposed to be amplifying and talking on behalf of the youth. Just think of any candidate who has got a youth to support, or rather a youth in his table, so that a youth will be able to sit there and maybe share some views of what youths want to be done to them in these coming general elections. But you will find that youth only sit at the table of mobilizing. You can imagine now you are given the biggest task of ensuring that in a certain rally you are able to ferry more and more youth to fill that rally. That is the only role that we have been given to do. Surely. Then you tell me that there are these people or these youths that we elect and they are supposed to be the voice of the youth. But they are not talking. Why? Because they are already full. And for them, they are only concentrating with their races. And if these are the people that we are relying and looking upon, maybe to hear our youths, our views as youths, then that's where we go wrong. And that's the problem. The people are there, but they are not doing their roles right now. They are engaging with other things and maybe satisfying and looking for their ways to prosper in life. They have forgotten that their role is to ensure that they air our views as youths and as comrades per se. Yes.
So, this year, IBC had targeted a total number of 6 million new voters. This means that the new voters were people who had not attained the age of 18, or rather, they had attained the age of 18 before the 2017 general elections, but were not able to register themselves as voters. So, the IBC had targeted 6 million new voters, but were only able to attain 23%, which is 1.51% of voters are registered. Why do you think youths are not motivated to participate in this year's general elections? We are the voice. We are the largest population of voters in the country, but yet we are not that motivated to participate. Why do you think this is so?
You can imagine the culture that has been cultivated in us. My vote doesn't count. So if I have the registration voters card or not, that's not my concern. Provided I eat, I sleep, I'm healthy and I'm alive. The thing with the youth is that they have not seen the perspective of the presidential candidate, the governor of my county, the MP of my constituency, and the MCA of my ward is the one that is going to determine whether I get a job tomorrow or not. But they have this perspective of, imagine you have a parent, isn't it? Your parent is providing for you. Is there anything that will be thinking of the future? Of why should I elect this president? You have got my mom and my dad is taking care of me. Not forgetting that if we elect a bad president, or if I don't have that vote that is going to determine the next president, it will mean that my mom and dad will not have money to sustain me. It's only after the youth realize the fact that politics play a major role in defining our future. And actually, I want to appreciate the fact that the 1.5 million got their votes out of 6.5, because I can tell you even this 1.5, that's a large number of youths. It means that there's something is being done, and the youths are changing the mentality and the fact that the old cultivated culture of my vote doesn't count and I don't care who's the president. I'm alive and I can be able to sustain myself through my parents or any other ways, and I'm okay. But I'm glad to see the fact that it is changing with time, and in due time I can tell you that the youths are going to be the determinants of who next is going to be my leader, who next is going to be the president of this country, who next is going to take over the county and maybe the gubernatorial seat, and that is the way to go. We're going to do the Zambian style. Youths must be heard, and youths must determine the future of this nation. Only if they accept the fact and face the reality that politics are here and politics are here to define our future. Take that vote, be with it, it's yours and it's your right. Yes.
There's a trend here. Many of our youths are not interested in politics until we get to the time where we are doing our campaigns. The leaders are coming back to us for campaigns. But all along this time, in the midst of the working years of the working government, we don't see the youth engaging so much in leadership forums, in politics. Only a few of the forums are there to engage the youth. What do you think we can do as a society or as a nation to make sure that we engage the youth in a maximum way in these leadership forums, in decision-making forums? What do you think we will do as a nation?
That's a very good question. It's something that has always been there. After 2013, we did the general elections, and 2017. The year was cool. Nobody was talking. The youths were behind the scenes, and now they are looking forward towards the government officials now to deliver on what they had requested to do. But it's on rare cases that we'll find a youth complaining and trying to hear the views and checking and balancing the fact that the presidential candidate that you elected is implementing the manifestos. Do you know why? Because it's a norm. It's a norm that it only matters when the general elections are here. Then after the election, it's done case. Uende ushughulike na maisha yako, ule usile, shauri yako. I don't care. And this is where now we go wrong. Something that youth must reinstate and rebuild is the fact that the most powerful revolutionists that you can ever have in this nation of Kenya are the youths. We are the people with the brains, with the minds, and with the knowledge. And if you face the reality, the fact that after general election, that doesn't mean that our case is cooked and our work is done. No, that means that that's another journey that you're supposed to ensure that the government, be it the county government or the national government, is implementing its agenda. How? By being revolutionists, by ensuring the fact that they had promised to employ youths and create job opportunities for us. Have they done it? Don't expect that old person or that elderly person to go and say on your behalf that we need jobs, we need this type of jobs. We ourselves are the people that we know the kind of jobs that we want. So this is a challenge that I want to challenge the government and ensure that they create that platform of youths, a platform that youths can use to revolutionize and ensure that they air their views even after the general elections. Of course, the views are there and the opportunities are there. But now the problem is the youths that are there, what are they doing? In fact, they are youths in the current government. But are they really supporting our ideas and hearing our views? And that's now the problem with the youths. If I get a job today, I get a nominated seat of maybe a member of parliament or even a member of the county assembly, most likely I'm going to forget the fact that I was a youth. And the problem that I was facing when I was a youth is the same problem that the other person who is not a member of parliament, nominated member of parliament, is facing. But will find myself, me for my case, I'm okay, I have the job. What else do I want? I forget very easily that I was once there as the people. So when I enter to the parliament, I'm not listened to. But another problem that it could be is if today I'm a nominated MCA or a member of parliament, it's very rare for those people, for the elected member of parliament, to listen to whatever you want to say. Do you know why? Because they say you have got no members, no numbers that you are representing. Rather, that seat were given at a silver platter. You never had to sweat, you never had to do anything, but the seat is there. So even hearing your views becomes a challenge as a youth. Because those people, they are going to diminish you, they discriminate you and see that you're not making sense. Because of themselves, they will say, I came here to represent more than 40,000 of my constituents. What about you? Of course, you are representing the large number of the youths, but do you have the votes? You don't have. So it's something also from the two houses or even the three houses of the government that they need to change that mentality that even if I'm a nominated MCA or a member of parliament, I have something that I can bring on the table. I have the views of my constituents who are the youths. If, for example, I'm appointed to represent the people with disability, I have to hear their views because I'm the only person that can relate with them. But if you diminish me and not give me a chance to say anything in the parliament, or even when I ask for a chance to speak, everybody is looking down on me. No, don't speak. Which member of country are you representing? It becomes a challenge.
Recent reports have shown that the total number of youths represented in the National Assembly, both nominated and elected members of the National Assembly, stand at 6.5%, as opposed to the 10% which is a global standard. And as we see today, many people are advocating for the two-third general advocacy, and we have forgotten about the youth. And as we speak of the youth, we speak for the both male and female genders, which are the largest number in our country. So, is it that the young leaders don't have what it takes to be representing others in the house, or are we not supporting our youth enough to give them the opportunity to be there?
Wow. Where I sit, I usually look for the future of this country. I believe it belongs, or rather can be dictated by the youth. And the constitution is very clear, and it says that the two-third must be there. So as for me, I look at it this way. If, for example, today I was to apply for a tender, you will find that there is a certain percentage of a tender, or rather some tenders that are specifically for people with disability, women, and the youth. I look at this and see, why can't it change and be that most of the members of parliament are youth? So that now we meet the two-third gender rule, and the other thing of ensuring that we present the minority in the parliament, that apart, instead of now appointing or nominating youths, we are now nominating the elderly for them to have a seat down in the parliament. Because if you are saying that we are talking about representing the minority, and yet we know that in this great nation of ours that most of the people are youths. So we the youths, or the elderly and the old, who are the minority and who are the majority? We are the majority, isn't it? If we need to nominate seats, you're supposed to nominate those seats to the elderly people because they are the minority, for them to have a chance to sit at the parliament. But now what usually happens in Kenya nowadays, if today I was stand and say I want to go for a certain seat, first thing that you are going to look and at me, it's what do I have? Do I have money? How, as a youth, where do you expect me to get the money from? Instead of you supporting me and ensuring that I get this seat to work for you, but you are looking towards what am I bringing on the table? What am I giving you in return for you to vote for me? And that's why you go wrong. The people are there and you are supporting them. But my friend, some mistake that you are doing as youth is this. If today I start a TikTok challenge, I become famous, people know me, that doesn't mean that I qualify to be elected as a member of parliament or as an MCA. But you'll find most people, after getting the fame and the popularity among as people, they are running for these seats. And that's why we go wrong. So you're going to be elected not on the capacity that you are able to deliver, but on the capacity that you are famous and you are known and you are popular. And in return, what are you going to do? Nothing. Because you don't fit there, you fit in the outside world. You fit in the TikTok industry, in the social media industry, but not in the political forums. So these other youths that can be able to deliver and work for the government, and towards ensuring that we get a good nation, they don't get that chance. They end up being there, hopeless, they have no jobs, and you'll find them now working for other organizations and they're improving the organization. Yet if they were giving a certain role or that opportunity, they could very well deliver and ensure that they redeem this country. And that's now the problem that it's there with youths. Today, if I was supposed to go for a certain position and I'm not famous, and there's another youth who is famous and known, most probably they will not look at who is going to deliver. They're going to focus on the fame and the popularity. And that's now where we see most of the youths are going to turn up in numbers to vote for that famous guy. They can go to a polling station and only vote for that person specifically, but the rest of the seats, they don't care. And that's what now the problem is. We have what it takes. When you're electing our own and supporting our very own, let's cross-examine them and ensure that these people have got the qualities, these people are leaders, and these people are going to deliver on our behalf and are going to present our views. And if you vote and elect someone in that perspective, I'm telling you that person is able to deliver. And that's what we call supporting our very own. Let's not support them because we need them to go and get jobs. No, this is not a job that we are creating for them. We want them to create the job for us. For us, we are just giving them a platform of how they can go and represent us there in the parliament. The chances are there, the opportunities are there, but now the problem is that we as youths, we are not looking and ensuring that we support this youth that is able to deliver, who has got the qualities, and is a responsible leader. These are the young people, what are they doing in parliament? Scandal after scandal. They have, I don't want to mention names, but you can see we have members of parliament who are youth in the parliament. What have they done on our behalf? There is a motion that came about ending the delegate system in the university. Where is it at for now? They're supposed to be relating and ensuring that that motion passes, but nothing is being done. For themselves, they have got the money that they never had, so they're enjoying life and creating more money for themselves, forgetting that they were given that role of ensuring that they deliver for us and for our sake. And that's the only problem that with this country that we are facing as youth. But youth are able to deliver only if we accept the fact that I'm best in certain position, I'm best in football, I'm best in books, I'm best in politics, I'm best in TikTok, social media. Let every youth stick to his lane. Don't jump to the other person's lane. You're going to fail, and you're going to fail the people terribly.
Okay, we have this other issue of politicians tending to use our youths, our force, to do the bad things. Youths are being used to disrupt political meetings. Yeah, during violence, the people who are being used to go out there and fight on behalf of these politicians are the youth. Why do you think that the youth, apart from being the leader of tomorrow, apart from being the energetic people in the society, they fall for the trap of being used to do harm to the society? Why are we finding ourselves in this position?
For my case, I will not say I'm blaming the youths for them engaging in such kind of activities, but the frustration that are in this country, my friend. If a youth finds any hole or any opportunity that he can earn something, he's going to take it. That's why you will see that a certain politician will approach you and tell you, I'm going to give you 1,500, 200 for you to go and distract a certain political gathering. For your case, you are going to look and say, you're giving me 1,000 to go and just throw stones, just that. And by the end of the day, I have my 1,000 shillings. Most of the youths are going to fall for it. And that's why I'm saying, if only we could change and ensure that we the youths are there, are participating in the government, the job opportunities are there. No youth could think of even going to throw those stones. That means they are idle and they lack jobs. And that's a job opportunity that these leaders we are calling, these leaders that we want to vote for, they are creating the job opportunity for us. Imagine such kind of a job opportunity created by those political people. At I'm applying you to go and throw stones, I pay you 1,000 shillings. And then the same leader is the same person that you are going to elect in the general election to become your governor, to become your MP, to become your MC, to become your president. Are you serious? Are you sick? That is being sick. So you can imagine the kind of jobs that this person is going to be creating for you. For you to create riots, I pay you 1,000, it's done. If these politicians were really serious with us, they could ensure and tell us that instead of giving 1,000 to go and riot, why don't you come, I give you this 1,000 and do the campaign for me, a clean campaign, and listen to my manifesto, and if the manifesto is okay, advise me on where I can go. But they just, I started by saying that these politicians, when they want to engage the youths in their campaigns, they only place you in the mobilization mobilizing part. The mobilizing part is to ensure that youths are there, the numbers are there, and in case stones need to be thrown, you are the person to ensure that you get those people to throw the stones. These are not job opportunities. What I can tell in the youths out there is, first of all, know your value. Accept that you are very valuable. And that's why these politicians don't want to give you that platform or that opportunity to stand out and stand your ground. Because you're going to overtake these politicians. And they fear you very much. That's why you will see when the government is frustrating the university elections. Why? Because it's where the real revolution is there. It's only in the campuses elections. That's where we make leaders. And you can imagine a country where universities are putting across the problems faced by the government, and it's like they are opposing the government. You can imagine the number of youths who are in the university today. It's a big number, leave alone the opposition that will going to oppose the government and to ensure that they check and balance to ensure the government is performing. The youths were supposed to take that role. So the fact that this politician can just think of coming and giving me 1,000 to go and throw stones, that shows how this leader is irresponsible, and he has got no faith and good to do with the youths. The only work that you can fit is only throwing stones, and that is what these politicians are trying to say. So even me waking up and going to vote for such kind of a politician, I will be sick. It's better I stay home sleeping instead of voting such kind of a leader. Yes.
You've talked of job opportunities in the country, and up to now, we still have cries among the people of Kenya that there are no jobs, especially for the youth. Many of the people are educated, they have gone to school, studied, graduated, and ready for the job, but there are no job opportunities. Could this be the reason as why youth have lost faith in leaders, and they have lost faith in coming up and speaking for themselves in these leadership positions, since they feel that they are unheard even though they speak? Could this be making them not participate in the coming general election?
I will call that frustration. The kind of frustration that most of our youths we have faced has led to the scenario whereby we have lost trust in the leadership of this nation. Because, for example, if I was to say, the previous government was there for 10 years. You want to mean that they have never thought of coming up with a good and more and create more job opportunity for the youth. So you're going to think of this, if that the previous government was unable to do that, what will make this other government that is coming in general election to create those jobs? And that's why we are supposed to take that challenge and ensure that we give our own opportunities and maybe try and error and ensure that we vote them in to see if they will be able to create this job opportunity that the elderly and the old were unable to do. So I feel that's the biggest motivation the youths are getting for them to go for these leadership roles. The fact that they have been electing the old, the elderly, but they have not been delivering. Job opportunities have not been created. Let them give this. Let us now give our very own the youths and see if, because they relate with us well, if they are going to come up with the jobs. And I can tell you for a fact, it's very possible. These youth can be able to deliver and create this job opportunity. Only if you remember that I said, we elect quality and responsible leaders who know very well that they can be able to administrate. Don't elect I don't put it in a bad way, but you cannot hire a cook who is a doctor. Let the doctor be in the hospital, let the cook be in the kitchen. The same thing I'm talking about here. Don't elect a musician to go to represent you in the parliament. That's not his role. Let everybody stick to his lane or her lane, so that we as youths are going to proceed and we are going to define the future of this country. Yes.
So, what message will you give to the youth of our nation out there? You know that during campaigns, leaders tend to use these people for their ill intentions, to send them to disrupt political meetings, post-election violence. The people who are being used are youths. You see, what message can you give to the youth of our nation today?
what I can tell them is first ensure that you avoid stooping too low for these politicians. Know your value as a youth. You are very valuable. And if people have not yet noted that most of the politicians are not campaigning with the youth, or rather they are not seeking votes from the youth, because they have this mentality that youths don't vote. They will just be there for their campaigns, take what they are taking, but during the election they're just at home Netflixing, YouTubing, watching TikTok and making videos and what have you. This is the year now to prove them wrong. Let's ensure that the larger number and the larger percentage of the people who will vote are the youths. From there, they can see the impactful and the seriousness that we have towards defining the future of this nation. And that is the way to go for the youths. Ensure that you turn up, vote for that leader that you feel is able to deliver for ourselves. And let's remain as one as youths. Let's focus, let's also support our own. Let's not judge. Let us give them that opportunity also to go there and air their views. Yes.
And we have come to the end of our show today. Thank you so much, Mr. Dengo, the President, for being with us today here. And we hope that whatever we've discussed here today will be of impact to the people and to the society out there. And to my viewers, you're a youth, you're a parent out there, please consider that you're the force of the society, you're the voice of the society. Promote peace. Tujenge Kenya, tudumisha amani. You can catch us on our social media platforms. Facebook is at Comrade Chatspot, Twitter at Chatspot, Instagram at Comrade Chatspot, and also YouTube Comrade Chatspot. See you next time. I am your host, Alan John.